So today we are going to discuss about transfer of requirement. Okay, so what is transfer of requirement? So whenever any sales order is created in system, so system will transfer this requirement to MRP, that is Material Resource and Planning Department. So what this MRP will do? So MRP will check for the stock in system. If stock is available in the system, then system will confirm the sales order and it will proceed for delivery, PGI and invoice creation. So what will happen if material is not available in the system? So if material is not available in the system, so this MRP, what they will do, they will start manufacturing the materials. Okay, so how they can start the manufacturing of materials? So for that, some prerequisites needs to be maintained in the plant. So like your raw materials, right? Then your manpower that has to be there in the plant. So system will check for the raw materials. Okay, so if raw material is available, then system will manufacture the goods and deliver to the customer, and subsequently invoice, sorry, PGI and invoice will be created. So this is the second step. Now the third step, if sales order is created, stock is not available in the plant, so MRP department, what they will do, they will carry out the MRP run, and if they found stock is not available, raw material also not available, but we need to deliver these goods to plant. So what this MRP run will do, so they will ask vendor to deliver raw materials. Okay, so raw materials plant is purchasing from some vendors. Okay, so they will purchase the raw material from plants, they will start manufacturing the products, and they will deliver to the customer once the product is ready in the plant, and subsequently PGI and invoice will be done. So how this transfer of requirement is being done, like as soon as we create the sales order, how this MRP will run, or how this plant or materials management person, they will be notified that this sales order has been created. Kindly check for the stock or plan for the delivery accordingly. So that we are going to see. So first of all, we will see where this requirement is maintained. Means as soon as we create the sales order, how this requirement is being transferred to plant or MRP department or materials management department. So this transfer of requirement is an integration between SD, PP, FI and CO. So all modules, they involve in this configuration of transfer of requirement. So from SD point of view, we are going to discuss what is our role in this transfer of requirement and how this transfer of requirement is getting transferred to plant or materials management. So for that purpose, first requisite is your schedule line category. So in this schedule line category, if you see the series schedule line category, Vivo V6, let's say CV, schedule line category, we already saw this. So in this schedule line category, this requirement or assembly option should be checked. In order to transfer requirement to the plant or department, so this requirement and assembly option should be checked. This is the first prerequisite. And the second prerequisite is in a requirement class, this requirement assembly option should be checked. So where this requirement class is, so requirement class is defined under this SPRO, SAP reference IMG, then sales and distribution, basic functions, availability check and transfer of requirements. Under this availability check and transfer of requirements, we have transfer of requirements, and under this transfer of requirements, we have defined requirement class. So this requirement class. So let's say first requirement class we will take. If we go into detail, so here we can see requirement transfer. So this option should be checked. So there are two prerequisites in order to transfer the requirement to plant. So this requirement transfer from this requirement class should be checked, and second one is in schedule line category, you should be having this requirement assembly option, check mark. This one, this should be checked and this should be checked. So there are two prerequisites which are important for transfer of requirement. If you don't check this, then requirement transfer will not be handed over to plant, and in your sales order you cannot see the confirmed quantity, right? So where you are able to see confirmed quantity in schedule line tab. So I will show you one sales order. You can see here confirm quantity, so it is 0. Let's take some other order. This order is blocked. Let's say take some other order. Under this schedule line you can see confirm quantity. Okay, if you don't check this requirement transfer in requirement class and requirement assembly in this schedule line category, you will not be able to see this confirm quantity in this schedule line tab. Okay, so this schedule lines we have already seen, but we have not seen this requirement class. So how this requirement class is being determined? So schedule line category determination we already seen, and we know that this is our schedule line category. So which we can see by double clicking on item in sales order, and by going to schedule line tab we can see. But where to find this requirement class? How we can find out which requirement class is being used in sales order? So the interesting thing is that requirement class is never being determined into sales order. Requirement class is never being determined into sales order. So how this requirement is being transferred? So this requirement class is assigned to your requirement type. Second option, define requirement type. So this requirement class, see, requirement class is assigned to your requirement type. Requirement type has requirement class assignment. So this assignment is there. So that's why this requirement class is important. Okay. So this requirement class is there. So this requirement class is assigned to your requirement type. Okay. So from here, system is doing the combination of requirement, checking for the combination of requirement type and requirement class, and accordingly requirement class is being determined, and with the help of details maintained in requirement class, transfer of requirement is being done. Now where we can see this requirement type into sales order? So if you go to sales order, under this procurement tab, in sales order, under this procurement tab, you can see this requirement type. See this requirement type 011. Okay, so here you can find requirement type into sales order. Requirement class is not directly getting determined into sales order. First, the prerequisite is requirement type should get come into sales order, or should be determined into sales order. This requirement type. Once the requirement type is determined into sales order, system will check for assignment of requirement type and requirement class. So once system finds this combination 011 and 011, so system will go for checking in requirement class. This over here. So requirement transfer is check mark. So system will perform the further transferring of requirements. Okay. So this is about requirement class and requirement type. Now the question is how this requirement type is coming into sales order. We have seen schedule line, how schedule line is coming. So schedule line is coming with the help of combination of item category and MRP type, right? Schedule line category determination, VO V5T code, we have seen that combination of item category and MRP type determines the schedule line category. Now how this requirement type is coming into sales order. So this requirement type is determined into sales order in three ways. So first one is strategy group. So first one is strategy group, which is maintained in material master under MRP3 view. Okay. Second one is MRP group. which is maintained in material master under MRP1 tab, and third one is combination of item category plus MRP type, item category and MRP type. So first of all, we will see how this requirement type is being determined into sales order. So as I mentioned, first point is strategy group will help us to determine the requirement type into sales order. Okay, so if you go in material master, okay, so we are in material master. So as I said, in MRP3 view we have strategy group, maintained. Okay, see this strategy group. So this strategy group helps us in determining requirement type into sales order. Strategy group will help us in determining requirement type into sales order. Okay, this is requirement type. Now we can see this strategy group as blank over here, right? So there is a sequence of checking or determining requirement type into sales order. So first, system what will do? System will go for checking in this field. If this field is blank, then system will go for material group. So where we can maintain material group? So material group is maintained in MRP1 screen. So where is the material group? Sorry, not material group, MRP group. So MRP group is also blank over here. So two options, they are cancelled, right? So material group is blank, and similarly this strategy group also blank. So third option is determining this requirement type into sales order is item category plus MRP type. So where is that option? So under this same part, this is third option, determination of requirement type using transaction. Determination of requirement types using transaction, right? So what is our item category? So in sales order, we can see our item category is 10, right? So we will find out the combination 10. Then MRP type. From where we can see this MRP type? Under this material master. Under this material master. See MRP type under MRP1 tab. MRP type. What is MRP type? Maintain for M10 material, VM. So we will check for VM. What is the requirement type maintained for this combination? 011, right? So 011 is same 011 is coming into sales order. So this requirement type is coming from here, right? So this is the way to determine requirement types into sales order. Okay. Now there is some rule to determine requirement type. So see, if you can observe over here, there are three rules: 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so 0 means system will first go for checking in strategy group. See, material master strategy group, then item category, MRP type. So to determine this, what we can say, requirement type, system, if you maintain this 0, system will first go for checking in strategy group in material master. If the system don't find any strategy group, then system will go for checking in combination of item category and MRP type. So system will check this. In this screen, system will check. Second rule, item category and MRP type. If you maintain this as 1, so system will bypass first two methods, checking in strategy group and checking in MRP group. System will directly pick from here item category and MRP type. And second one, so system, what if you maintain these two, so what system will do? System will perform determination as per one option with check for all allowed requirement type. So these both are same only. So these two are important, 0 and 1. If you maintain 0, that means it will be blank. Let's say I will maintain 0 and I will save this. Okay. So save, after saving this is showing me as blank. So is your 0 means your blank only. Okay. If you maintain 1, if I maintain this one, then system will take it as 1. So if I maintain it again 0 and save this, system will take it as blank. So blank means 0 over here. Okay. So this is all about your determination of requirement type into sales document. Okay. Now, as I explained you, the requirement type is being determined into sales order in 3 ways. So first one is system first check for this strategy group. System will check for this strategy group. Then system will go for checking in MRP group, and then system will come to this combination, right? But what will happen if some strategy group is maintained over here? So this strategy group, see, you can when we are going through this material master, we have seen that these strategy groups will help us to determine which kind of business process we are going to use for this particular material. So make to order, right, and make to stock. Okay, and this assembly and service order is nothing but your IPO. So if you maintain some other parameters than blank, so system should check strategy group into this production planning area. Okay, so for this strategy group, maintain for some other make to order and assembly. So system will determine some other requirement type. So where that control is defined, so that is defined under this production planning, demand management, plant independent management, planning strategy, and here define strategy. Okay, so this 10 number strategy is used for make to stock production. Okay, 20 number used for make to order production. That means first you will receive the order, then you will start the manufacturing. And what is make to stock? Even though you don't have any order, you will make the stock ready in advance. So this is the difference between make to stock and make to order. Okay, so if we check for this 20, see, requirement type is KE. Requirement type is KE. If you maintain this 20 in material master, then you can see this requirement type as 20 that will come into sales order. Okay. So this strategy group, if you maintain this as 20, so this requirement type will get changed to KE. Requirement type will get changed to KE. And if this requirement type is getting changed to KE, what is the requirement class will be used for this determination of transfer of requirement? So a requirement class will be 040. Okay. So there are a couple of strategy groups maintained. Okay. Then we have seen second parameter for determination of this requirement type. So under this MRP1 tab, you have MRP group. So if some MRP group is maintained over here, let's say 0010 or something that, so which requirement type will come into sales document? So that is defined over here. Assign MRP group to strategy group, right? So here you can see some plant. So which plant we are using? 1000. And what is the MRP group? For example, if I wanted to change this MRP group from blank to some 020, so let's see the combination 0020. Okay, so this is the combination we need to select, and if we go to details, so which strategy group we can see? 20, right? So which strategy group we can see assigned to this combination? 20. Even though we don't maintain 20 here in this system, can able to determine 20. Even if it is blank, then for the combination of this plant and MRP group maintained over here, strategy group will be determine as 20. And once the strategy group system find as 20, so which requirement type will come into sales order? For 20, what is the requirement class? That is key. That is K. So that will come into sales order. Okay. So this is all about your requirement type determination. So standard requirement type is 011. Okay. And standard requirement class is also 011. Requirement type for MTO process is KE, and requirement class for MTO process is 040. Okay. And requirement type for IPO process is 040, and requirement class also, requirement class is 0 KEB. Requirement class is KEB. So these are a couple of important requirement types and requirement class that we need to keep in mind as a point of from interview point of view. Okay. So this is all about your transfer of requirements. Okay. So let me show you some more controls from this transfer of requirement under sales and distribution. So as I explained, standard requirement class, that is for make to stock process, is 011. So whatever we are seeing this for practice purpose is which business process? It is make to stock. Okay. And make to order, IPO, these are couple of other business processes that we are going to see in subsequent sessions. Okay. So for this requirement class, you can see the special stock indicator is blank. But if you check this for, let's say, 040 for make to orders, see the special stock is E. Similarly, if you check this for KEB, which is IPO, for IPO process, it is also E. So what does this special stock indicator do? So this special stock indicator tells system that you reserve the stocks created against this particular sales order for that particular customer. So what is make to order? So you are manufacturing the goods as per customized requirement of your user, right? So that material cannot be sold to some other party. So it should be reserved for that particular customer. Similarly, what is individual purchase order requirement? So you are getting some order from your customer and you don't manufacture that product. You outsource that product from your vendor and you take it to your plant and you do the delivery by your own. So that stock which you are receiving from your vendor should be saved for that particular customer. So that stock will be reserved for that particular customer. So that is called as individual purchase order. Individual means for each customer, right? So this special stock indicator is important. So similar kind of indicator we have seen during item category controls. Okay. So what is the special stock indicator for this consignment process? That is W, right? So consignment is also, but here it is not relevant. Here only these two process, IPO and MTO. So for those processes only this special stock indicator is maintained. And this is coming from your item category, because ultimately your requirement class is coming from item category. As I said earlier, there is a linkage between item category. See this requirement type, how it is being determined with the combination of item category and MRP type. So requirement type is getting determined and your requirement class is assigned to your requirement type. So these are dependent on each other in sequence. So that's why this special stock indicator for this MTO and IPO process is coming from item category. Okay. So this point we need to keep in mind. Now here, if you see, this is costing. So as I mentioned in the beginning of session, it is an integration between SD, MM, PP, FI, and CO, right? So if you are using CO model in your project, so this costing data should be maintained. So this data is for FI. So generating the accounting entries, account assignments. Okay. So only important things from this requirement class is requirement transfer. As of now, only requirement transfer and special stock for MTO and IPO. Okay, these two important parameters are there. In order to transfer the requirement to plant, this should be checked. Okay, so the next control is, we have seen this 1, 2, 3. Define procedure for each schedule line category. Okay, so define procedure for each schedule line category. So in the beginning of session, I went to this Vivo V60 code and I showed that for this item category CV, this requirement type second column. Observe this. Requirement assembly should be checked. So if you go to simultaneously in both the T codes, if you can open this Vivo V60 code now and you are in the same screen, so system will tell you that, system will show you the error that you are in the same screen. So this is nothing but your Vivo V6 screen. Only these two options are segregated in this screen. So from here also you can control that. So your item category, this requirement should be checked for transfer of requirement. So this column should be checked. If you check it over here, let's say I am unchecking it from here. Okay, and I will go to Vivo V6. I will go for CV. See, it has gone now. Why? Because from that screen I have deleted that, right? So both screens are same. So previously it was there, now it has gone because I deleted that from that other path. So let me revert the changes. CV and requirement should be saved. Okay, so this is the same as of your schedule line controls. Okay, next one is block quantity confirmation in delivery blocks. So what is this option? So if you double click on this, so we have seen credit management. Okay, so if any order which is blocked for credit, why we should transfer requirements to plant and unnecessary carry out the planning, resources, and all these things. So that's why for this purpose, this combination is maintained over here. For this credit limit 01, this is confirmation, this quantity confirmation is blocked. So in the beginning of session, as I open this another sales order, so you can see under this sales order 23980. So this, you can go on schedule lines. So I cannot see confirm quantity. Why? Because this order is blocked for credit limit. This order is blocked for credit limit. So that's why I am not able to see any confirm quantity. So where it has control, here there is a control. So order confirmation should not be done if your order is blocked for credit. Okay, so this is control over here. Then next one is maintain requirement for transfer of requirement. So what is this maintain requirement for transfer of requirement? So your customer is blocked for credit, so your transfer of requirement should not be carried out. Okay, so that is maintained with the help of this requirement number 101. So this 101 requirement number should be maintained in order to do not carry forward, do not carry out the transfer of requirement. So interview, they will ask the question, I want to make this changes, like if my customer is blocked for credit, then my transfer of requirement should not be carry forward to plant. So where is that control? So you can see the option as under transfer of requirement, maintain requirement for transfer of requirements. In that, we have to maintain this routine number as 101 or requirement number as 101. Okay, so there is the control. So this is the 101 requirement assembly. Similarly, we have next option for third party and IPO process. If my customer is blocked for credit, then my requirement should not be transferred to this purchasing or materials management department, and automatic generation of PR and PO should not happen. So where is that control? So here you need to maintain this requirement number as 102 purchase requisition. So if you maintain this and your customer is blocked for credit limit, so system will not carry out your transfer of requirement, and automatic creation of PO and PR will be stopped or will be blocked. So these are the controls in transfer of requirement. So with this, your transfer of requirement topic is over. Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next session.